Alright, humans of the cardboard, welcome back once again. We've got more huge reveals. We've got, Konami's just blasting us right now over the last couple of days. First and foremost, we've got Ultimate Rares confirmed for OTS Pack 19, and they seem like they'll make people happy, for sure. And then we actually have 3 new Vernalizer Fairy cards. Very happy about this. The first wave of Vernalizer Fairies absolutely felt, I want to say unfinished, but just like that the core wasn't done yet. Hopefully we get this, and maybe hopefully we get even more in the next core set, but I haven't read all these fully, so hopefully they end up being good. We have a new boss monster for the archetype. That's always exciting, and it's in the main deck, which you guys know how I feel about main deck boss monsters. And yeah, Konami's just been going crazy with the reveals. You know, we got the crazy new level 7 archetype, crazy more support for tier elements and new Scareclaw cards. And last night, crazy Naturia cards. And all this is coming next to 10 Blackwing cards. It's crazy. So let's get into it. We'll hit on the ultis at the end. But let's start off here with the Vernalizer Fairy stuff. The first card here is Vera, the Vernalizer Fairy Goddess. She looks great. I don't know why. I feel like the artwork in this archetype almost reminds me of like Winnie the Pooh when I look at like the little rabbits and stuff. I don't know. Okay, this is a Earth level 8 fairy, 2400 attack, 3000 defense, big booty on her there. And yeah, first and second effects are hard once per turns. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and if you do, it becomes an Earth monster. Okay, that seems pretty simple. If you can just get this on field, it is just a Snatch Steal, and that's permanent, by the way. Doesn't negate the monster's effects, doesn't return it on the end phase, doesn't say it can't be tributed, doesn't say it can't attack, literally anything with it. Very, very cool. That's really strong. Second effect, during your opponent's turn, quick effect. Target an Earth monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Okay, this actually opens up some things as well. If this card is easily accessible turn 1, this effect becomes like really, really nice because we can just go through and literally be like, whoa, okay, generic-ish Earth card that if it's summoned, like if it's special summoned or normal, whatever, you know, if it's special summoned, like interrupt your opponent some way, right? That opens up the door for anything that way, any other interruptions, or just like something that could be an interruption, reborning it so that it is alive again. You could potentially be really, really solid. So I like this. This reads really, really nicely. Helps you just get fairies on the field, or well, Earth monsters more than anything on the field. Very solid. And the last effect, which appears to not even be once per turn. Once per turn. Oh, it is. It's a soft once per turn. While you control 5 or more Earth monsters, you can negate any monster effect activated by your opponent, and if you do, destroy that monster. For those of you wondering, YG Organization makes a good point here. That yes, she actually negates on resolution. We don't see these effects very often, but it means she doesn't have to like chain on to something. It just means during the resolution of a monster effect, you just get to choose whether or not it will resolve. So that's really, really strong. So yeah. And that also means that in a chain, you could literally chain the second effect to like quick reborn something. And as long as it resolves, once that 5th monster hits the field, if you had like 4 on field, you would then be able to choose like that something's resolving or not that was earlier in the chain. So really, really strong. The only thing you could complain about with this card is that it does not have an effect to summon itself, but knowing the Vernalizer Fairies and that literally any of them can reborn any Earth monster from grave actually makes this card pretty easy to set up. And also keep in mind, you use this effect to steal a monster and make it Earth from your opponent. Then you use this effect on their turn to reborn something. That's already at least 3 bodies on the field for this card to be live. And also don't forget, whenever you summon using a Vernalizer Fairy, they are on field as well. So we would usually, even if we don't use the first effect, let's say we're going first, right? And that's not happening till turn 3. We would at least have 3 bodies just by summoning this and then using the second effect. So that means putting any 2 other Earth bodies on the field would make that negate live. I do think overall this is a pretty good card for them, especially since just once you get it set up, any Vernalizer Fairy can just summon it from grave, so you gotta respect it. I like it. Alright, from there, we move to the next card here. We have Vernalizer Fairy of Seedlings and Haze, a little platypus duck situation. I guess it's just a duck, right? Not a platypus. Very cute. Again, giving me Winnie the Pooh vibes for sure. Obviously, Earth Fairy. This one's a level 3, another level 3. I kind of wish they were just all level 4. I wish they were just kind of all the same level. That way we could kind of just hyper-focus on, like, Earth rank 4s, because I think there are some okay ones. But it is what it is. 400 attack, 800 defense. Following suit, they're all very small monsters generally, but we'll see. First effect, hard once per turn. Second effect is not. First effect reads, discard this card and one other monster or Vernalizer Fairy card to add any Earth Fairy from your deck to your hand. Okay. Except for himself, then you can special summon an Earth monster from your graveyard. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except Earth monsters. That's pretty solid. Searching any Earth Fairy, that's like before normal summon, so that means if you do want to combine this archetype with something like the Ishizu cards, which we're literally seeing right now is already like having like legit meta success being splashed in the Tier Elements deck. Now this isn't the same, you're not milling a ton of cards like Tier Elements, but you can send those, you do have ways to like just either search those cards out or send those straight to deck, or straight to grave with this deck as well, which is pretty good. And this card's solid. Searching something like, what is it? Is it the Keldo, the new Keldo? And then ways to dump Kelbeck or the Agito to get mills and stuff like that. It could be pretty cool as well. Definitely solid. I think this one's one of the better ones for sure. And then the last effect says all monsters on the field lose 600 attack except Vernalizer Fairies. That's fine. 600 isn't too important. Just because all of the Vernalizer Fairies tend to be real small. But I guess theoretically if you have him on the field with something like the other one, the new boss girl, she essentially becomes the equivalent of a 3000 that way, which, you know, could help scare away your opponent just going battle phase on you. But pretty good. That's a nice addition there to the extender lineup. And then we finish up with a field spell. Will it search? I do not know. This is Flower Bloom of the Vernalizer Fairy. Field spell, second and third effects are hard once per turn. First effect says all monsters you control gain 1,000 attack while you control 5 or more Earth Fairy monsters. That's okay. That's a decent effect. I mean, listen, this deck is all about just spamming out a bunch of Earths. So I guess at the end of the day, I can't be mad with something like this, especially when I just was talking about how your monsters are so small. 1,000 for everything could be huge and really allow you to just run over boards at certain moments. But you do need to get all the way to 5 Earth monsters on the field, which is kind of a big ask. So that's like the one drawback there. But if you get there, that's not bad. Second effect, you can banish one Vernalizer Fairy and Flower Buds from your hand or graveyard. Which one is Flower Buds? From your hand or graveyard as cost to special summon one Vera the Vernalizer Fairy goddess from your deck. Wow, straight from the deck. So whatever this one is, I don't know which one is the Flower Buds. I'll have to look it up after. Is it a monster or is it one of the spells? I can't remember. And the third effect, if a Vernalizer Fairy monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can target one monster on the field or in either graveyard and return it to the hand. That's actually not bad either. That's actually decent. Just thinking about the new girl, at least, she's got the quick effect to reborn any Earth monster in your grave. If you choose to make it a Vernalizer Fairy while this is face up, you will just get an additional bounce, which is pretty good. So, this card, the question will be how consistently will the deck just put a Flower Buds in the graveyard and then just have this card to like summon Vera straight out of the deck. Because if it's easy, then like it's easy. Like we might just be cooking. And then the third effect's already live, so you do just have a bounce at that point. And obviously Vera kind of applies a lot of pressure. Just being in the grave applies a lot of pressure because once you get another like Vernalizer Fairy that's live in hand, like you're bringing her back, and she's stealing a monster, and she's reborning stuff on your opponent's turn, and, you know, once you get to 5 monsters, she's a negate. So, pretty powerful card all in all. I like it. Does it break Vernalizer Fairies? Is this exactly what they needed to go from, you know, interesting to, like, meta contender? Probably not, but, like, I never really felt like the Vernalizer Fairy stuff was the stuff we were waiting on. Does this help? Absolutely. But I felt like we were more so looking for a new, pure Earth archetype that was going to come out, that was going to be like, this is really good, it just needs assistance from something, and Vernalizer Fairy would be exactly that. One of the questions I have with this archetype specifically is, what we see a lot of decks need is generic cards in the extra deck to give them utility. You know, your access codes, your Appaloosas, your unicorns, just to get removal and get negation and all, and just turn 1 end board stuff. Well, when you're locked into Earth monster effects only, it does make it harder to kind of mess around with generic extra deck monsters. You're kind of just stuck with whatever is at the mercy of Earth, and obviously with Synchros and Exceeds, like level-wise as well. So it becomes a little bit harder. That's going to be the question, is like, how much utility can the deck find? Is it just what the Vernalizer Fairies offer and like exactly what other archetype you splash with it? Or are there enough like extra deck Earth cards out there to like really make something happen? I don't know yet. I'll have to look into it and see what I can come up with. I might do like a preemptive deck profile with the new cards just to see just to kind of brainstorm and start the conversation on what the right path with Vernalizer Fairies would be. But definitely let me know your thoughts down below on these cards, because as well as just Vernalizer Fairies and where they're at in general. But yeah, finishing up OTS Pack 19. Wow, they actually revealed everything. I didn't even realize they revealed everything. Okay, starting off with the ultis. Fallen of Albaz, of course. We already knew him. He was the only one we knew. Water Enchantress of the Temple. We knew this was going to happen eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if Rite of Aramis also ends up in here. I don't know if... because they're like 1-ofs and 2-ofs, I don't know if they do Griffin Rider or Fateful Adventure. But, yeah. And then Skill Drain. Skill Drain is our one generic card here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have a Skill Drain Ultimate Rare yet. So, we'll take it. I'm definitely not mad. You know, some people are not going to love it, but I do think, like, over the test of time, like, this one will be probably a nice, worth it one. Moving down the line, we get 2 super rares. Right here, we've got a bunch of them. Caius, the Shadow Monarch. Okay, I don't know about him. Trap Eater, funny. Whatever. Pain Painter, okay. DD Burfomet, Performapal, Odd Eyes Dissolver, sorry. DDD Flame King Genghis, DDD Oracle King Dark, and Forbidden Chalice. I think Forbidden Chalice is the coolest one here. We got the gold rare like last year, but outside of the gold rare, we have not seen Forbidden Chalice get like an actual like good reprint, like a hollow reprint in a while. And I know not everybody loves gold rares, so I think that's actually probably the most important one there. So yeah. Moving down the line here, we have Hercules Beetle, Kuagata. Is that just the like vanilla monster? Swamp Battle Guard, Lava Battle Guard, Night Assailant, Gores, Lone Fire. A Lone Fire common, okay. Heroic Challenger, Thousand Blaze, Wisdom Eye, Magician, okay. Performapal, Skull Acrobat Joker, Fairy Tale Snow in common, Destrudo, Heroic Champion Excalibur, Heroic Champion Gondiva, Synth Amplifier, and Red Reboot. Nothing too crazy here, to be honest. The super rares, I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a market guy. I don't know exactly where these sit. I think the DDDs, though, I think these 2 specifically might have been only in common or something. So this might be like an actual nice rarity bump for them. Chalice is obviously nice. I don't know about the rest, to be honest. I don't think they see much meta play, but, you know, maybe on a market standpoint, if they're just an old card that hasn't had a reprint, these could actually be pretty nice for those. But as far as the ultimate rares go, they're pretty cool. I'd be fine pulling any of these 3 if I, you know, topped my locals, you know. But that's fine. We'll take it. All in all, Vernalizer Fairy, pretty solid. Nice little bump for them, hopefully. They actually sit in a nice position, but we won't know until we start messing around with them. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from me down the line. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.